the separation from you guys tonight?
We started taking tougher shots there in the third, fourth, and that led, they're one of the best teams in the league, so that just led to fast break points, and they're obviously going to convert.
And you guys have been out. You've been out for a minute, and you've been watching this team. What have you seen just kind of during this skid for you guys?
We have really, really good moments during the game. Really good moments. We're up against top teams, and then we have moments that aren't so good. And these teams are really good. I think I take advantage of that, and we just got to try and put as close as possible 48 minutes, so we can get this win.
Tomas, how much are you guys aware that the distance between you, the Suns, and the Mavs for that 9th and 10th spot in the standings are right now?
Oh, we're aware. It's a very tough position, and every game matters, and we just got to play our best basketball and win the most games we can to stay out of that.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
I'll be quiet. You guys can. Oh, before the ball was thrown in? What's the playground?
No, if it's a foul before that ball is down, it's a shot at the ball.
Oh, it was clearly a foul, right?
I don't believe so. Free broadcast, if I'm not mistaken. Right, John.
And then clearly so.
And then they do.
Oh, yeah, I missed that part. Maybe it was a foul on Giannis and yeah. What's up there? I didn't say anything. I just said yeah. I'm live tweeting the game. No, Brittany. This is live for me. I was just. You got the delay on, Brandon? I don't know what's going on. Brandon doesn't want to hear anything. For the win. Booker made the shot, so you guys know. I had no idea. Was it by chance like a fadeaway from the right elbow? Maybe half up on 10 minutes. Okay. Or they have the Mavs and the Raiders, or they have the Suns.
Good evening, everybody. Disappointing. The areas that we need to really be good in is creating extra possessions. That would be offensive rebounds, turning them over. Weren't able to do that at a really high level, and then we have to shoot threes at a real higher clip. Not necessarily. I mean, obviously you want to make them, but they attempted 50. We only got up 24. So points of emphasis. Unfortunate 7-point play. Don't see that too often, but yeah. It doesn't get any easier. You got a game tomorrow and against the best team in the league. So you got to lick your wounds, come back, and be ready to roll.
So you talked about getting the number of threes up more. How do you guys do that as an offense?
Well, especially against teams that are reading, it's got to be 1-2 dribbles at the most. Can't get too far in the paint. Just kick it out. It's the same recipe when we played them in Boston and shot more threes than them. So just the ability to move the basketball. You can't hold on to it too long. You got to make quick decisions. You got to be ready to shoot when you catch the ball. I thought that we passed up some. I have to go look at it, but we didn't pass up 26, but the ability to make sure that we are shooting threes and getting them up at a higher clip. I mean, my number for Keegan is 10. He only got up 5. Zach is at least 10. He only got up 5. So we got to make sure that we are letting the ball go as soon as we get it. Get your feet set, be ready to shoot it. If they close to you, put it on the floor, drive, kick, swing, on to the next one, and create a shot once you create the advantage.
Coach, with things being so tight and the playing positions and things like that, what kind of things can you do to kind of, if guys are playing tight, to get them to loosen up a bit?
I mean, when I see them daily, they're loose. And I try to make sure that they're loose. But when you get out there on the floor, I mean, it's just like the other night. Like, they're in position to win the ball game, but you do got to make shots. That's just really what it comes down to. So, have fun, understand, and I tell them this all the time, and I'm sure they get sick of hearing it, but this is a kid's game. That's when you fell in love with it. Play with that same amount of joy, play with that same drive and desire, and those are the things, all the extra efforts, all the extra possessions, those are the hustle things that make you feel good and help your teammates. We did not do that tonight. They did, and thus the outcome.
Where did you kind of see some of the separation, that just maybe in that second half especially?
Probably with the 7-point play, it probably started there. You make a 3, you hit a free throw, and then you hit another 3. And before you know it, they just create some separation for, going into the half down 5 in a decent position, even to close it to 10 at the end of the third. Like, you're there, but you got to get some stops, and the inability to get stops. They got some really key offensive rebounds. The kick out to the Schreier kid in the corner for 3. Like, those are the ones that really break your back. Those are the things that when we played there, we had 17 offensive rebounds. So we were flying around. Tonight, we didn't fly around at the level that you need to beat and compete against a world championship team.
Yeah, and to that point, I mean, obviously you have some steep opposition. Is there kind of a yin and yang to this team right now during this kind of stretch where it's been tough to find victories?
What do you mean?
In terms of maybe, I mean, obviously, there've been, whether it be on defense or even on the offensive end, whether there's the level of compete versus, how you guys get off to starts. Are you kind of seeing it kind of swing in different ways during this stretch of games?
I mean, I think that it kind of goes like that for everybody. When we played them there, they were probably in a swing. And really, to be honest with you, in our league, except for the super elite teams, it's the teams that are playing well and peaking at the right time. And that's what you got to do. When we are playing at a really high level, we can compete and beat anyone in my estimation. What makes it tough is, guys keep getting sick, guys keep getting hurt, and you got to bring them back, but then you can be rusty in different things. But we have to live with that because those are our guys, and we trust our guys, and we're going to roll with them. So you just have to find a way. You have to find your energy sometimes. You have to create shots sometimes. And once you find something in the game that works, you got to milk it until they figure something else out. And the other night we did not do that. Tonight we were a little better at it, but the hustle plays, the making sure that we're getting loose balls and all those things. Those are the areas that, just looking at it, I got to go back and watch the tape. But listen, they competed, but like I told you guys before, 80% is not good enough for this team. We have to be 90 plus. We can't fall asleep for a 4-minute span, a 5-minute span. We got to make sure that we're taking good shots. That might mean slow down a little bit. I know everybody wants to play fast, but sometimes you slow down to speed up, and they'll be better.
Doug, you look at the two conferences, and like in the East, you've got teams that are 10, 11 games under 500 that are in the play-in picture right now, and in the West, you've got 11 teams that are right there at either close to 500 or better. Can you just speak to the level of competition out here and just how tough this conference and this race is?
For a long time, Jason, it's always been that way. I've heard pundits talk about, the best 16 teams or now it will be the best 20 or whatever it is should make it. It's tough. The Western Conference is an absolute animal, but will be better for being in it because you're facing elite competition every single night. And going down the stretch, we just we got the best of the best coming in. And whether that's Eastern Conference and you got Cleveland, you got, these teams coming in, Boston, now OKC, like Eastern Conference, high level, Western Conference, high level. It just happens to be the timing of what it is. So we have to find a way. First of all, compete, which we did, but you can't do it for a half. You can't do it for 3 quarters. You got to make sure that you do it for 4 quarters, and then you have to have the ability to close the ball game. We have closers, but we got to put ourselves in position to do that.
Thanks, everyone.
Appreciate you guys. Yep.
Open the locker room, and we've got Zach coming next.
Zach, where do you think where do you think tonight went wrong, especially in that second and third quarter where the Celtics kind of got the gap in the game?
They were just consistent with their attacks. And I think at a certain point, I think they had 88 points going into the fourth. And, for a high-powered team like them, I think we're doing okay. But they were just consistent, and we got away from what we were doing well. I think we're playing a good defensive game in the first half. And it just got away from us. A team like that, that can't happen.
Doug pointed out the big difference in three-point attempts. What did you think of the looks that you guys did create and how you potentially could have created more?
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to create them, obviously. Not taking enough of them and not hitting enough of them. So we got to figure out something to change that up.
Yeah, Zach, Doug asked about, Doug said he was looking for you to shoot more like 10 threes a game. Keegan, the same number. How do you guys get those extra shots up?
Shit, I would love to, you got to try to find the good ones. You don't just want to force them up either and just take bad shots, especially in the flow of a game. But I got to find a way to take more than 5. I know that.
Zach, you guys are half game up on Phoenix and Dallas now. What is the vibe like in the locker room? How do you guys get some confidence and try to get out of this little slump you guys are in?
I mean, the vibe is not good. It shouldn't be. We're not happy with the way we've been performing, individually and as a group. And the games aren't going to stop us at the point of the season now. We're it's nut crunching time. So you figure out how to get a win. We're playing good in spurts, obviously, but that doesn't win you a game. So we understand the standings, but we just got to take it one game at a time and figure out how to get one. We can't look too far ahead in that, because if you do that, we're going to just keep snowballing like the way we are.
Zach, speaking of the race and how tight it is, just what's your assessment of the West and how, how daunting, how tough this conference is, being a guy who's, been in the East for quite a while?
Yeah, I mean, I was in the West too at the beginning of my career, so some of the best teams in the West. But you got to play everybody. I could care less of what conference. You just try to win games and get yourself in position and your team in position to win.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Zach.